Wait, I already know what you're thinking. What does this old man possibly have to say about the Disney College Program? Well, this old man actually is a DCP alum. And what I want to do on this video is pretty much let you guys know what life can look like if you utilize leverage and go through and use the Disney College Program the right way. And I know a lot of you guys hear that it looks good on a resume. That's one of the first things that I heard. And if you're looking at this and you're going through the program now or about to go through the program, or you're just getting done with the program and you haven't yet start working in your field, you don't know how true that is. Well, I'm here to tell you guys that that's not a myth that needs to be debunked. Like, it's actually factual. I can't tell you guys how many interviews that I've been a part of where I've shared my experience about the program. They've seen my experience on my resume, and that's one of the main things that stand out. One of the main things they want to talk about because they either knew somebody that went through the program, they wanted to go through the program, or they already knew that by me working at Disney, there's a certain standard that you're held to at Disney that company probably aligns with. And so one of the first things I do want to make understood that, guys, this is fun, but it's going to be hard work. And depending upon the role that you get accepted to or the role that you did, it's extremely hard work. Because one, your hours vary. Number two, you're probably going to question yourself at some point because, it's not a high paying job. It's an internship. And so myself, I was a business major at the time with a focus in hospitality management. So I feel like whether you're a business major, a theater major, an engineering major, or just wanting to find some type of entryway into the company, the college program is a fit for you. Because I went into it not really having any expectations, not really knowing what the program could offer me. But what I've noticed 10 years later is that because of the program and having the opportunity to get away from my environment, get away from home, college life, friends, it forced me to take a deeper look inside myself and really understand and figure out who I was. And you'll notice once you get out in the real world, like understanding who you are and understanding being okay with being alone sometimes, it helps out a lot because yes, you'll make a lot of friends during the college program, but there are points within the program that you're alone sometimes because your friends, you guys' schedule, they may conflict. And that's another point. If you've gone through the program or if you're in the program or if you're about to go through the program, do understand wherever you're working, there's already tenured employees working at their location. And so you get second dibs on off days and stuff like that. And sometimes those off days, like you can apply for them, but they're not easy to come by. I don't know if that's changed or not. And so speaking of pay, speaking of off days and all that stuff, some of you guys that don't know, you'll be paying rent, but the rent will be actually coming out of your paycheck. That's how it was back then when I did the program, and that's how I think it still is today. Now that I've been so far removed from the program, I will let you guys know that one, the hard work that you do during the program, like it will pay off. That's first and foremost. Number two, the relationships and the friendships that you build. Like, I challenge you, if you're like, I'm an extroverted person. And so it's not really that difficult for me to go up to a random stranger and just start asking questions about them, their family, their faith, things that they like to do. That's not really difficult for me to just go up to somebody and strike up a conversation. But if you're an introverted person, the cool thing about the Disney College Program is there are a lot of introverted individuals within the program. And so that's the perfect opportunity for you to connect with other like-minded people and create bonds and friendships that'll last a lifetime. And so I would also encourage you, if you're an introverted person, to just say, hey, I'm going to meet one new person that I didn't know every single week. I'm going to come out of my shell. Because what'll tend to happen is if you don't make that decision to come out of your shell during the program, then you're gonna feel depressed at times, and I saw a lot of that during my program. I saw a lot of people self-term because of that. Introverts that I know that went through the program, they forced themselves to come out of their shell. Now I look at those guys, they have bonds and friendships all around the world, myself included. So it's a cool experience to know that here I am in my 30s now, my early 30s, and that I can pick up my phone or go to WhatsApp and literally spin a globe, click the map, land on the country, and I know somebody that lives there. And if I need somebody to hang out with, if I go to another country, like 9 times out of 10, I'm going to know someone from my program that lived in that state within the U.S. or lived in another country with all the different people that you interact with that's doing the ICP. Now, I will tell you guys one thing that I wish Disney would implement. I wish there was a way, and I've looked at different programs to try to see if they offered something like this, but I haven't seen anything. I wish they offered something where they would do like an alumni reunion. But I do understand there's so many different people that come in and out of this program every single year. It may be something that they just really don't care to do. And it's pretty much on who's ever in that graduate class to kind of keep those bonds and keep those friendships going. But I think that'll be a cool concept if Disney could find a way to kind of implement a DCP, ICP reunion or something like that, to get a chance to meet up with the people that you've met 5, 10, 20, 50 years removed from your program. Now, if you're looking at this video and you just got accepted, or if you're looking at this video and you've already been through the program, just drop in the comments and let us know that you got accepted. So we can all cheer you on. If you're already done with the program and you're just trying to figure out what to do next, I remember being in that position. I remember going through my initial program, which I think was spring of 13 or spring of 12. Was it spring of 12, spring of 13? It was spring of 13. So it was spring of 13. And then I extended throughout the summer. So I ended up being there like for a year. And I remember going through school and getting back on campus. And one thing I really don't hear a lot about is about post-program. Once you leave the program and you've built this bond and these attachments to people and the fun and the party and all that stuff, that some people can't let go of that. You see a lot of people, they stick around Florida. And so for those people like me that applied and went back to school and I tried to apply again, I got denied just so I could buy myself more time after school. I'm pretty sure there's some other alum that experienced that. But I will say getting denied that second time that I applied was probably one of the best decisions that ever happened to me, because it forced me to go ahead and really start my life. I had a son, now I have a family, my beautiful wife and 2 kids. We've actually visited Disney, I think it was a couple of years ago for my son's birthday. And just being able to show those guys around where I worked, still knowing some back of the stage things that are still there to this day that we were able to do and take advantage of that not a lot of guests know. So that's one of the cool things about it. When you go through the program, you learn different tricks and hacks and stuff like that. And when you go back years later, you know how to maneuver certain ways. Having a program for an entire year, I really got to understand the peak seasons. And so now when I go to Disney, I know when to go. I know when there's not going to be lots of people in the park, when occupancy is down. Occupancy was down in the resort that I worked in at the Disney Yacht and Beach Club. The lowest I think I saw occupancy was around maybe high 60%. But most of the time we were at 99%, 100%, 101% on the daily during our breakout meetings. So I said all this to say, do understand that you're going to have a lot of fun. Do understand that it's a lot of hard work. Yes, Disney on a resume looks phenomenal. You will stand out over other applicants. So use the program the right way. Leverage those relationships. Build those relationships. If you're an introvert, get out of your shell. Meet some new people. Because I promise you, you'll have friendships that'll last a lifetime. It has its challenges, just like anything else in life. And that's going to teach you another thing. You'll go through different adversity. You'll go through different things mentally. And so all those things, if you stick it out, it's just going to prepare you for later on in life, because you'll notice at every level of life, there's some type of challenge. And this program, it helps you build some of that emotional maturity. It helps you build some of that mental toughness. So I encourage you guys to stick it out. And I also encourage you, if you're an alumni, to drop something down in the comments and, encourage some of these guys. Let them know how life has turned out for you since the college program. I'm wishing you guys much success post-program, and I look to seeing your video 10 years removed from your DCP, ICP experience. This is Deuce the Dope Dad. I'm signing out. Peace.